support the 17th October date. All right. That, ladies and gentlemen, is all we had to share with you today. I'm happy to answer your questions because I know you want to rush back to your offices. So anybody who has questions, kindly field them. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
No questions? Yes. You don't have any questions? It was that clear. I'm that good a presenter. Okay. If you say so.
But don't you think that the 300...
Yeah. Infotrak, the research company Infotrak, releasing information from their latest poll with regard to the Supreme Court ruling nullifying the presidential elections and also ordering a repeat presidential poll. They were asking several questions surrounding those events, and giving you the highlights. 76.7% say yes, they support that ruling by the Supreme Court. 21.6% do not support that. We'll be giving you a detailed breakdown of the numbers and the questions asked in our subsequent bulletins. I'm still in studio with Didmas Barasa and Piki Milili, Dr. Kabare Karanja, Ken Ambani and George Ojakoya, political analysts. And now my panel just grew bigger. Eric Wanjohi joins us. Very good morning to you, Bwana Wanjohi. Karibu sana to the panel. Of course, our main discussion today has been with regard to this presidential petition, this petition seeking the removal of Chief Justice David Maraga from office. You've just heard what the Jubilee Party parliamentary leadership has had to say. What do you have to say to this, Bwana Eric Wanjohi? Because the talk and many of the questions were, was Ngojiri Wambugu alone in this, or was he just representing the party's position? Now, the Jubilee Party parliamentary group leadership has come out to say, no, that is not us. Do you think this explanation was genuine enough?
Fred, we see a situation whereby we have the newcomers in Parliament trying to step out to be seen, but the old timers in Parliament who understand the law much better, trying to correct the situation or the actions of the newcomers. I think one of the most pressing needs we need to do is to have a very good sensitization program in Parliament, because we are seeing all these new parliamentarians acting in various ways, and they are old guards tending to override what they are saying. So
you're saying it's just a simple case of a misguided or enthusiastic new member of Parliament?
I'm not going to call it misguided. I'll just say that it is not in concerted effort with the rest of the team. Ordinarily, what you'd expect to do in such a situation, this is a very hefty matter, this is a very heavy issue. You'd expect them to first discuss it amongst themselves and then go out as a team. This time they have not. What we are seeing, exasperations of the Supreme Court verdict from one individual who happens to be the Member of Parliament of Nyeri, trying to express himself or trying to express his dismay at the verdict through the channels that he knows best, which is the Judicial Service Commission.
Are you saying he probably did not take time to think through the political implications of his actions?
What I'm saying is that he did not take time to consult with his team. You can see Adan Duale, you can see Kipchumba Makomen stating very clearly that they were not part of it and Jubilee is not part of it. So it clearly shows that he did not consult well.
We have a very new member of the National Assembly with us, Bwana Didmas Barasa. And this has been the discussion even on the panel. They seem to think that, yes, the new members are a bit overexcited and could cause problems even for their own parties. In this case, we are seeing quite some firefighting from the Jubilee Party. Do you agree? Do you relate to that kind of excitement Bwana Ngojiri Wambugu is being accused of having?
I think Eric is making a statement which is completely misleading. Ngojiri is not acting on behalf of the young members of Parliament. We have very many young members of Parliament, and the ones on lack of consultations and reaching out to the rest of the people should not be meant to assume that the young members of Parliament pretty moving very fast. You know, we are trying to correct where the old member did, they didn't. If you look at most of our discourse, pretty, you need to appreciate that the Kenyans, the fact that many Kenyans had confidence in ourselves, this shows where the country, where the country is headed to. So I think let us not take the burden of an individual member of parliament. Let us not take the burden of an individual member of a particular community to assume that is the whole community or the whole members of parliament.
But Asa, you must admit and agree that seeing this kind of firefighting from the Jubilee Party parliamentary leadership could make you, as a first-timer member of parliament from the Jubilee Party, actually take a back step or maybe become a bit slow in probably you're a bit eager to do some things, but seeing this kind of reaction, you might be, hey, let me hold off a bit and consult more, or probably just be very quiet in parliament.
What the leader majority has just said, we held consultation within the Jubilee Party, and even some of us that we are first-timers, we also quick to convince our friend that the path you've taken is a lone ranger, kind of. That we ought to have consulted ourselves. If we want to go far, you walk with the others. But if we want not to go far, you walk alone. But again, like we have said before, he has all the constitutional rights to do what he has done. And if you look at the background of the Honorable Ombugu, he's coming from the NGO, the activism, the demonstrations, and he was former in ODM, this kind of thing. So I think we need to look at his character as an individual.
By being in ODM, what do you mean? Why would being in ODM at any point in his political career push him towards this particular petition?
The narrative of ODM has always been remove this one, don't want this one, remove this one in meetings in Kibera, in all over. And I think you, like the way my friend Ojakoya, look at him and he has some, you think he looks like an intelligence officer because his background is in the police. So there is no way he can begin to behave like a doctor or like a teacher, So if you look at his arguments, completely analytical, a lot of analysis. So you need to also look at the background of a person.
If Barasa continues, it might just his own. He's not a member of Jubilee, Professor Ajakoya.
Yes, I'm very grateful that this discussion is taking us mileage, and as Kenyans, when we sit together, we sit as brothers and sisters, and there's no element of ethnicity, but whatever happens during the elections, all these things come up. Ngujiri has made a point. He's a member of parliament. He was elected by the people of Nyeri. He has got his own view, and he views things in his own way. He has the electoral team that he actually has to advocate rights to. I've seen a lot of animosities out there. Duale, as you have heard him, plus Murkomen, they should not be talking at all on this issue of Maraga, because they were the people who actually ignited the whole fire when they were somewhere in Rift Valley, when they were saying these judges will do what. And
but watching them actually going back, beating such a retreat, must mean that, yes, it has caused quite some damage.
Yes, this is hypocrisy of the highest order in this land. These are the same people who have used their mouth to actually demonize the judiciary. First of all, I will forgive Duale. Duale is not a lawyer. Therefore, he can say anything, as whatever. But for Murkomen, who is a member of the Law Society, who knows that the rules and conducts of an attorney or an advocate, especially when you are putting the Law Society into disrepute with the reckless statements like he has been before, something is not right somewhere. But anyway, I don't want also to dwell on him, because he is a member of parliament and is a politician and he can make political statements. Whatever is happening actually is not very right, but we are learning from it. We cannot just come up and say, oh, it's now Jubilee, it's Jubilee. Look at NASA, for example. They have also come up, they have also demonized judges, the judiciary before. If they rule against us, we are going on the street. You remember the Frimbi? When they actually came up to do what they did on Isaac Hassan or what have you. So let's look at the whole thing holistically. Let us see what we can do. Let's look what the courts have said. Let's not demonize. Let us read the script and find out. And there are mechanisms of going against what the court has done if it's not conducive to the public good. Members of parliament can sit down and say, you know what? The judges have said otherwise. Let us amend this by putting it into regulation.
Yes.
So let us actually move holistically.
I'm watching the two leaders of the Jubilee party in Parliament speaking the way they're doing. What does that make you feel? Do you think they've been caught flat-footed? Do you think they even thought they would be trying to defend some of these actions against the judiciary?
It is now evident that these guys have been caught flat-footed. From what they have just told us on the screen, you can see that they have taken from the poison chalice. They thought that this was not a weighty matter, but the reactions that it has elicited all over the country, they have to step out and come out to control the damage. And this is what they are trying to do. They are trying to patch up things. But it is too late. The horse has already bolted. Number two, I think politicians in this country must rise above their party concerns, because we have a country that is bigger than all of us. And having a political stand only gives you an opportunity to bridge the gaps that we are creating among us Kenyans. There are more weighty issues that we should be looking at. But when we focus on only politics, then we miss the point. Because we can only conduct political issues in terms of generating legislation if we are living in a peaceful and tranquil environment. Because war is not the absence of peace. We can already see and feel the political temperatures are heightening in this country. Yes, we are not seeing any cases of people fighting and all that. But if we have politicians who are harping on this all the time, then we need to sit back, take a deep breath, and begin generating discussions amongst ourselves that will be helpful to this country. Will be helpful even to advise IEBC, look, let us avoid this grandstanding. Can we as Kenyans, as brothers and sisters, agree what are the things that we need to put into place that will make each and every Kenyan who will be going into this election on the 17th feel that the elections are going to be carried out in a free, fair environment, and whatever the verdict from Kenyans, whoever emerges the winner will be embraced by all and sundry.
We're about to take a break, but before that, Dr. Kabare Karanja, this form of firefighting or damage control, if we may call it that, are they going about it the right way? We have had the two leaders of Jubilee party in Parliament distancing the party from this petition, but also saying, but you know, he is right and he should go ahead and do this. Do you think they're firefighting or the damage control, they're doing it, or they're going about it the right way?
Well, thank you, Fred. I think, number one, did they have a choice? I don't think so. They had to come out and control the damage. Whether their statements, as Prof mentioned earlier, whether their statements match their actions, the politicians are moving what politics is in this country. I don't expect the actions and the words to match. But they had to come out because, in my opinion, and I stand to be corrected, I think this Gojiri issue appears like a local politics stretched a bit. If you've been observing Kirinyaga, and I think the president is having meetings with leaderships there, you see wrangles. Who is going to lead the campaigns, marshalling, driving, steering the election campaigns and so forth? We've seen such wrangles around Kirinyaga region and so forth. So I'm not surprised. So
you're saying this is nearly county politics?
That is not very far from it. That somebody would want to take the lead. And if you associate yourself with the defending the president and so forth in that region, you are likely to achieve this. But most importantly, you asked the question of whether they are doing it the right way. In the initial instance, they had to come out and distance themselves from the MP's petition. Whether this is coming a little too late is a different matter, because there are actions we are seeing that do not support the president's strategy for the election, and it's coming from his quarters. The other thing, there are so many issues that we need to address. The other day, the European Union observers came back and they started saying, we want to see ABCD. Who is, remember, when they left the country the other day, they said, we have seen very clean job and so forth. Here they are. How do we engage with these observers towards 17th? And the other very fundamental issue is, as Kenyans line up to vote again, a number of issues will be going on in their minds. Right now, they know they voted on the 8th, the votes were counted, they are locked somewhere in some ballot boxes right now. That has been kept pushed aside. Now they'll be doing it again on 17th. Now, as they queue, what will be going on in their minds? Will this one count? So the things that we are beginning to see are not helping us get ready for 17th. And I urge our especially the political class, the political leaders, to put Kenya first. Let us build confidence in the institutions that we have, so that we can put this politicking business, which is hurting other sectors of the economy, put it behind, and come 17th we move forward as a nation.
Okay. Time now for us to take a break. We continue this conversation and much more. Remember, NASA has today released its 11-point list of demands, which they call irreducible minimums, before a fresh presidential election is held. This, you can actually go out and read it. It's published on full paid advertisements, full page advertisements on today's dailies. All the explanation, all their questions, all their demands are there. But with all these demands, 31 and a half days to this date set for the elections, are we really sure that we're going for the polls? That's after the break.